Welcome to the full moon eclipse energy update, meditation and message. We're recording this right on the cusp in the very middle of the full moon eclipse, apparently the longest for hundreds of years. So every full moon and new moon is opening a gateway in our human blueprints that allows us to access the divine templates within that are supporting our reset from duality to unity consciousness, from 3D to 5D, that are supporting us with the templates that enable us to embody, integrate, walk with, and live with the awareness of interconnectivity, the oneness awareness that calls our disparate parts home. Now, at the beginning of this full moon, or the beginning of this moon cycle, sorry, this new moon to full moon, full cycle, Jiran and I were talking about the gateway opening was living your soul's dream. The cat. Living your soul's dream. And he really is dreaming at the moment. I might have to let him out and pursue that. There you go. Right. There's a lady cat downstairs. It's very sweet. They're kind of connecting a lot at the moment. Which is on point really for where we're at energetically and what's going on. The inner work is focused around our inner archetypes, our inner masculine and our inner feminine. And what's awakening with the full moon gateway here and moving into the new moon gateway to come is the inner masculine that is supported, resourced, fully functioning, energized, validated, encouraged, and ultimately celebrated by our inner feminine. So the he in us gets to rest easy and secure with unshakable roots in the surety of knowing that our actions, our directions, our sense of purpose, our drive, our will, our ability to systemize and structure our movements, behaviors, and activities in the world are aligned with the highest wishes of our divine feminine, of Shakti, and of Shakti resting in the arms of all that is, relaying, embodying the essence of our very beingness, who we are, the shape of this individuation we are, when we are aligned, when we are relaxed into our place of belonging within the whole, within all that is. So there is this birthing of the divine masculine who knows his purpose, is certain in his purpose, and is celebrated in his purpose. Now, right in the middle of a full moon eclipse gateway, what we have is a beautiful opportunity, and it's not time connected. You know, we're recording this now. It doesn't matter when you listen to this, but a beautiful opportunity to drop very deeply into the resonance of the essence of our being, so into our divine Shakti. And that is what enables, that's what calls our divine Shiva into alignment, into integrity, into being. It's what allows the old Shiva, that's been collecting all through this month, the old Shiva energies in us, our old stories. It allows those to leave more gracefully, more elegantly. They don't have to manifest as stories in our lives so much. But more importantly, it allows a wounded Shiva to leave, but it calls our divine Shiva into being, into body, into life. And sets those parts of us up, fully resourced, fully ready to go and functioning. The notes for this full moon gateway are very much about the whole time. This has been about body symbiosis within the planet. So where this reset is happening, the dimension of ourselves, where the reset is happening, is from duality to unity consciousness reset. Where this is happening is they've had these really strong notes of being dropped deep, 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 deep down into the goddess, into the earth, into the part of the all of who we are that vibrates with the planetary rhythms, her earth rhythms, her living and breathing and moving rhythms. There's a lot of movement in the tectonic plates, in the magma, in the little one. Yeah, okay. In the magma, as Gaia is breathing, opening the crusts and reforming. So magma is flowing and the earth is reforming and changing shape. For sure, this happens as an ongoing thing, but there's an emphasis on our connectivity with this part of her process at the moment. There's a focus on it. And there's a part of ourselves that is always in resonance, always vibrating with those harmonious, living, breathing resonances in the planet. And the invitation of what's supported this whole new moon to full moon gateway, and especially through this full moon eclipse, is us dropping deeply into that physical body resonance. So the I who's on the surface of this planet is connected to the part of us that's also at rest deep within her layers. Like a child rests within the womb and the heart within the heartbeat of the mama. And there's that vibratory resonance, that rhythm, that resonance that calls the body consciousness home. Well, our body consciousness is being called home. The next 8 years are going to keep bringing this to us in different ways, in different dimensions, in different areas. But there's been this beautiful dance of, if we drop deeply into meditation, in awareness, the part of ourselves that's vibrating with those deep planetary rhythms, especially where she's moving and opening her crusts and reforming the shape of herself in the world. This is supporting us, the I who's on the surface, to be energized, to be efficient, to be easefully changing the shape of itself, reforming itself on the surface, who we do, wow, what we do and who we are in the world. And that who we are in form comes into integrity when we drop into alignment with who we are in the formlessness, in those deeps, in the mysteries, the Shakti mysteries. And like I say, this is a very planetary, very physical resonance happening. There's a lot of, shall we say, physical. I'm certainly feeling a lot of symptoms. You can probably hear in my voice that I've got a lot of physical movement going on this full moon. And it's been so strong. And there's been two realities to sit in. And one is where there's another strong thing that I've been seeing is the body. It's like the memories this body has held. All the things it's collected in its pathway of exploration and exploring duality up till now. And exploring duality, relationship between the inner masculine and the inner feminine in very physical ways. It's like those stories are like an outfit, like a piece of clothing, as though the flesh is like a piece of clothing. And there is a death been happening all month, all lunar month, where this clothing is being invited to drain away, to kind of peel off and drain away into the earth, where the earth, she knows what to do with this. She, just like leaves fall from a tree and become compost and nourish the new growth, there is a body consciousness layer that's been melting off, peeling off, or in some cases, people are shaking it off. You know, the way trees shake in the breeze. There's lots of different ways, but it's been coming off and returning to the earth. And what I'm seeing with everyone I work with and with, you know, the deeper picture, if you like, of tribe at the moment is as that skin peels off, as that layer peels off, what is beneath it is what's always been beneath it. Is the part of us who's Shakti, who's aligned with the earth resonances, who's in body symbiosis within the planet. It's basically our Shakti goddess, our earth Shakti goddess self. And there are some beautiful, we each have a very unique, shall I say, image of this, like how the form of this, shape that we are. But there is a collective call for us to be connecting with this part of ourselves because it's always been there. And as the body death of this full moon gateway really comes to a bit of a climax and a culmination, what's emerging and what's being nourished, because we've let go of the old, because full moons are very much about that, gathering what we're letting go of. Here she is shining through. Now the consequences of our dropping into her are that our divine Shiva energy is emerging in the surface self, the one who moves about our daily lives. And there is that solar sun rebirthing and re-energizing our activities to help us be even more aligned in what we do with who we are, in the core deep essence of ourselves, as the resources of the planet become more available in support of that for us, as we honor that and dignify it and commit to it and dedicate ourselves to it and make those grand choices and changes where we say, yes, this is what I am for, this is what I'm not, this is what I give my physical energies to, and this is what I withdraw my physical energies from. So in the system, there's a real focus around rebirth happening in the throat chakra. And this is, the throat chakra is, yes, it's about our voice and our expressing ourselves through communication, through verbalization, through showing our face in the world and saying, yes, I am here and this is who I am. But it's more than that. It's in the divine alchemy of creation. It's the center where the essence of who we are, following its tantric pathways up to this throat center, is birthed into form. It comes into the world. So it's where we are creating from the truth of who we are, but the point at which we're allowing our creations to come into the world. And there is a death and rebirth story happening here really strongly this moon. This full moon lunar eclipse. So that's the overview of the energies. I want to take us on a little meditational journey now. Unless there's a message first, there might be a message. So let me just take a moment to see what comes first at this point. No, it's a meditation. So just to align within ourselves and know that when we align within ourselves, we are aligning with whatever the energies are doing. We are going to be receiving the gifts that are for us. We don't have to try. And I want to re-emphasize a major theme, which is when we drop into our Shakti, into the formless, our Shiva gets to fulfill its purpose without effort. There's an effortlessness of doingness that is being birthed at the moment. The more deeply aligned we are in the formless, in the Shakti, the easier everything gets for our Shiva, the part of us that is goal-focused, action-driven, can structure and sequence, can hold focus, clarity, and sustain its actions, make that repeated sustained actions in the world that are going to keep bringing our dreams into reality, the dream of our soul dreaming itself into being. So again, we're with that marriage of soul and spirit, Shiva and Shakti, from duality to unity in the body and in the physicality of our worlds. So taking a moment now So if you've dropped in with me and you're ready for a little meditation alignment, just 10 minutes probably, I never know quite how long they'll be. The invitation is to close the outward facing eyes and to make silent intentions. To direct our attention and to let go of when we've made this silent intention, like I turn my outward facing eyes inwards, when we've made an intention to let go of whether it's happened. Does it matter that we're in our mind? Does it matter that thoughts are there? What should I be experiencing? Just know that it's enough to silently make these intentions and make them if they feel right for you. There we go, love. So, there we go. So taking a moment to really physically feel where we are in our space, that contact between our posterior, our feet, what we're resting on, standing on, sitting on, what's at our back. With our eyes closed, having that sense of our environment, what's in our environment right now, what's surrounding us right now, not judging it, not evaluating it, just allowing it to be there as it is. Just noticing. And physically feeling the sensations in the body where we're making contact, where we're held, and where we are. Okay. And taking a breath and opening to notice that physical sensation of breath in the body. The lift, the drop, the rise, the fall. Opening to the possibility that that rhythm, that lift and drop, that rhythm and movement extends beyond just the sensation of air filling lungs. You know, is there a lift and drop that extends further into the body, that maybe even extends beyond the body? Let's connect with that flow that perhaps we can feel when we open to notice the physical sensation of breath in the body. With the intention to turn those outward facing eyes inwards and drop the seat of seeing into our heart and center. As though part of us is resting there reclined with nothing to do in this moment. Whatever else is going on in this moment, there is nothing to do. And letting that statement be there, in this moment, I have done enough. Returning attention to the breath and allowing any vibrations that move to be there. So as we say that statement, I have done enough, maybe constrictions move, maybe vibrations happen, maybe thoughts come up, maybe things try and get our attention. None of that is unwelcome. Let it all be exactly as it is. And be with that sensation of the breath. I have done enough in this moment. I have done enough. Opening to notice, is gratitude in my heart here now? Not to anything or for anything, just as a note. And there's no wrong response to this. There may be no response. There may be a negative response. There may be, I don't know. None of those responses are wrong. We're just asking, is there a note, a resonance of gratitude in my heart here now? Really being with whatever comes when we ask this question. It might not be gratitude at all. Mm. So asking this really allows some of our hidden feelings to come to the surface, but we meet them as a vibration, not as a story here. Movements in the body, maybe emotions in the heart or thoughts appear in the mind. All vibration. With each breath, whatever arises is rising up and flowing home. It's flowing through that gateway home to source, to all it is, to its own origin. Okay. Now we open to feel our body again, the sensations in the whole body. Just noticing anywhere our attention is drawn and taking a moment to just feel whatever we're feeling. No judgment, no naming, no story. Let it be a vibration. Stay with the breath. Just a few breaths here like this. You can take any part of this meditation and play with it outside this space. But now just a few breaths like this. All right, and allowing ourselves to drop back down into the heart space, making that intention to rest here. While part of us is resting here, giving the instruction, like a scan from above the head, moving all the way down slowly, an invitation to every part of our body to relax, to let go, and staying with the breath. Anywhere we don't relax, that's not wrong. There's nothing wrong. Just notice it and carry on. Until we can feel part of our attention draining down out of the bottom of our feet and following that movement down, 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 way down, as though we're dropping softly but deeply down into the lower strata of the earth, down where her heart beats, down where she is fire and liquid molten stone, where she moves and breathes, where perhaps part of her is stretching and reforming, just like part of ourselves is stretching and reforming. And as the old drains into that magma, our old skin, our old body clothing, the old of who we were, you can imagine that we are sat somewhere in her deeps, just breathing with her, letting ourselves be reformed, knowing that only what is not of our truth is lost, and all that is of our essence cannot be lost. It remains. We're letting go of old energy, and it can return and join that core golden nugget of the true essence of who we are while we're breathing with her, breathing with Mama Gaia and being reformed. So let those words just be there. Don't try to make anything happen. Just Stay with your own process, what you're physically feeling, what you're noticing. That's more real. These words are just like a story in the background. You don't have to pay attention. Okay. So we're opening to that expansive movement in the body. As we breathe, opening to notice where there's expansion, where there's an upward flow from our root. Just listening. Doesn't matter what we actually feel, none of it's wrong. And keeping our attention with expansion, even though constrictions may be rising up and dissolving. It's like anything dissolving in a flow of magma or a flow of water. The energies of fire and water. It's all about making steam in us at the moment. Alchemizing us for energized action. So letting everything be abstract, returning awareness now with the intention to return awareness to the heart and center. To rest here. Be aware there's this rhythm of the breath here. The breath happening as though we're breathing in from within. What does that mean? Doesn't matter. Breathing in from within, from the all of who we are and from all that is. Breathing into our hearts and centers, whatever quality is for us in the moment. And as we breathe in, that fills our hearts, it fills our chests, it fills our body, it fills our fields. Strengthening our boundaries, our borders, and our protection. Reaffirming us in who we are in a feeling way. Helping our frequencies harmonize. And it's like in the heart, there's a gateway that opens backwards almost, that we could, if we wanted to, make this intention now to fall softly inwards into the embrace of our higher self, into the arms of our I am, that I am, into all of who we are, to let go. To fall softly into ourselves, letting go of what that means. Nothing to do, nothing to know. Opening to notice the sensations in the body. Keeping our eyes closed. We can make an intention to take a sensory snapshot now. Give that instruction to our innate intelligence. Remember this feeling. Take a snapshot of this feeling now. Doesn't matter if we've done it or not. I'm just giving the instruction. And keeping our head tilted downwards so that we're not going to look at too much. See if we can stay anchored in how we feel on the inside. We'll begin to open our eyes a little. Now, if we come out of that inner sense of how we're feeling, close the eyes again and go back in and reconnect. And then little by little, in our own time, lifting the head, taking in more, and seeing if we can stay with that feeling of how we feel on the inside as we take in more of our environment. Sounds beyond our immediate environment. Perhaps our thoughts come back, but let's see if we can stay with our feelings while they do. And we keep that anchor on that beautiful, deep, formless place we just fell into. Whatever of that we touched, however it felt for us, even if it didn't feel like much at all. Just making that intention takes us somewhere and brings us something back. So thank you so much. That was the update and the meditation. And it feels like there may be, if we just reshuffle here, get more comfortable. Feels like there may be a message. Or there may not, so let's just see. Oh, after that meditation, I just want to make the point that listening to the body can be one of the most beautiful ways to allow new streams of consciousness, new energetic pathways that are now open, new expansive movements and arrangements and recirculations of energy to find their way through physical pathways and to be embodied. So this is one of the ways of doing deep inner work and allowing it to come fully into the body is after a meditation, taking a moment to go into authentic movement and to listen, where does my body want to move? These very subtle movements starting with the chest, the shoulders, the spine, and the hips. Maybe there's a slight shift to one side or the other. Where do things feel tight and want to open? Or where is there a feeling like the body wants to move? A gentle leaning, perhaps. See if you can give yourself full permission to go with these movements. Whether they're subtle or they feel strange, does not matter. This is your body talking, opening up flows and channels. So, these movements are not going to be movements you might expect. But really keeping yourself centered within on how do I feel inside, and extending that to the arms and the fingertips, the wrist, the toes, the legs. And allowing yourself to breathe. Now, I suggest when you do this carefully. You do this where you're sat down, or you do this somewhere where there's soft things around you. Because if you move too fast after a meditation, you can get dizzy and fall over. So do this with care. And gentleness would be my recommendation. Okay. And now taking that breath, just see where it feels like that breath can move a bit more freely in the body. Where does it feel like there's more air reaching the lungs? And although there are constrictions, we're always listening for where expansion is happening, because expansion is what heals and holds and dissolves constrictions. It's not that we ignore them. It's that we choose to align with the expansive so that the constrictive is held and able to go through its process without us becoming it or investing in it or over attaching to it. So it's very important while we're aligning with where do I feel expansive, not to ignore those constrictions, because that's a kind of bypassing. We always listen for them and lovingly listen. Where is there tightness? Body, heart, thoughts. But we listen from a place of empowering. I am the expansive I that I am. That's the offering I always bring. Okay, all right. So feeling a bit more integrated, a bit more embodied with what we've just done. I suspect that will continue on throughout the remainder of this eclipse and certainly for a few hours after this during the day. Now, like I say, you don't have to be watching this in the eclipse. The energies are coming through in this moment, but they're there, they're encoded. It's collectible when you pick it up. All right. Beloveds, so here is the message, okay? Beloveds, you are an expansive new truth of human being. Look at your little suns radiating on the planet. You are a delight. Together you form rings of light, subsurface suns of light, vibrating a new resonance in the core strata of the earth. For you are allowing parts of your own multi-dimensionality to come into symbiosis with Mama Gaia, with the planetary resonances that call you home, that hold you in a state of interconnectivity. This is where you allow your body consciousness to live the truth of interplanetary or inward planetary symbiosis. You don't have to think your way to this new awareness. You will bodily vibrate with it. This will reinform your animal impulses and instincts, helping what is out of alignment with the truth of who you are to come into alignment, to recognize new information coming from the planet through your body to your awareness and changing quite literally just what feels good. What does and does not feel good. And so often the really important choices that humanity makes that change the world, that shift the planet, that raise the vibration of your combined collective activity, so often these choices come down to what does feel good in me right now. So often you also override these with the complexities of thoughts, but the stronger your bodily vibrations come into planetary symbiosis, reinforming your animal instincts, that new information is going to match up with the pathways of thought that you have been laying down over many years now, preparing yourselves for the intellectual awarenesses that agree with the principles of symbiosis, interconnectivity, unity consciousness. And that is what you have, your planetary shift involves you in. Listening to the animal instincts, not come into shift, reform, grow and expand. You are terraforming yourselves just as the planet is terraforming herself. You are shifting and stretching. Old bits of you are cracking off and floating away and dissolving into the magma, being washed away into the oceans. And yes, fire and water, your inner dragon archetypes are breathing with you now, these new expansive energies. We hope you will be feeling the steam-powered, energized action that reassures your whole body that yes, you are in the right place doing the right thing, that you are, what you are feeling is true, helping you to call home and trust what comes in your animal body to match what vibrates in your higher centers of awareness, as you might call them. We see it all as an orb. You are making a shift from linearity to orbularity, and this idea of above and below and better or worse or higher or lower, well, it's also up for renewal. These next 8 years are going to see you, shall we say, shifting some of those duality-based qualitative measuring sticks that you may have used against yourselves and each other and your external world, as things become less linear for you in some respects. But that is a tangent. So we invite you to celebrate what feels good and allow that what feels good is what's renewing in you. To be with that process, to allow those changes. No? Oh, never mind. Oh, yeah, let me just re-anchor in. Let your bodies be reformed from within. You are shifting within me. I am shifting, for it is also time for my growth, my expansion. We are not separate. We are one body with different, individualized expressions of itself. We breathe together. You breathe with me. You do not have to work out how to do this. And you are held in a process of letting go your forgetting. It is your body consciousness that vibrates with me, speaks to you and will let you know, will re-inform you in a remembering process of the simplicity at the heart of what's happening here. It is, beloveds, a resting, dropping in, relaxing and letting go in the cusp of this full moon eclipse energy transmission. You are invited into surrendering. Allow this to bring up whatever it brings up in you. Essentially, there is a part of you that remembers what you are surrendering into. The highest truth, the deepest remembering of the oneness you are relaxing into. Nothing is lost. You are an individual. Your individuality is retained. Your sense of separation is what you are surrendering. That is what can be lost should you so choose. I am Gaia. speaking through this one in one facet of myself. Each of you have within you a facet of Gaia consciousness. I am not reached externally through channels. I am reached internally by you connecting with me within, breathing with me, remembering our unity. There is nothing that can come between our connectivity that comes from anything externalized outside of yourselves. The pathway to remembering lies within. You know this, of course, yes. Everything external is a mere facilitator, reflecting whatever it is you seek in the moment that can help you open to your own connection within. Whatever calls you home, and for each individual, this is different, this is unique. But I know your unique resonances, each song that you are, I know individually. No, I know you. I know your song. And I love deeply, unconditionally, the you that you are as you are in this now moment. Beloveds, you're letting go of the effort of trying to be with me, with yourselves, with all of who you are. You are letting go of effort. This is the gift delivered in this transmission. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for opening, for sitting, for dropping into being with you, me, all of everything. Thank you for dropping in to be. We shall meet in dreams, meditations, vibrations, and movements along the surface. For wherever you go, there I am. And wherever you go, there you are. The I am that I am, we harmonize. So you're just invited to be with whatever is physically moving for you. Anything you're physically feeling, anything moving in the heart, any thoughts. Just taking these breaths and moments to listen to what's going on within and allow it to be exactly as it is. Thank you. I wish you a beautiful full moon lunar eclipse. And I look forward to connecting with you when we talk about the next new moon gateway. Lots of love. Bye for now.